And welcome everybody back to episode 10 of Techopolis. Now I'm having a bit of deja vu here because I've already done this intro once today. I have a little bit of bad news. Unfortunately, I recorded the entirety of episode 10, did the outro, looked over to click stop recording, and realised I never clicked start. So, I'm now going to have to explain everything that I've done in just a little quick update thing real quick, which is a bit crap. I put a lot of effort into that. So basically, I went through and we were just getting into Mekanism. So we did the whole quest line for Mekanism, which was pretty easy. And then we got into this Waystone quest here, which we still haven't finished yet because we need more of these teleportation cores, which means we need more of these atomic alloys, and it's a big rabbit hole. And then we were getting into Ultimate Techium. So what I did was, I've added copper, silver, and zinc plating and uranium to the automation over here. And then I've added a obsidian cube and a netherite cube, just like we've got for the stone and the cobblestone, because we can now do that with tier 4 miners. And then there was a big rabbit hole of all this Mekanism stuff. So first was automating sulfur, which is pretty easy. It's just water in this electrolytic separator. And then the oxygen goes over to here. And for some reason is not making more sulfur. Ah, it's because this is full of hydrogen. So we need to get rid of this hydrogen, which we can't really do because of all the sides are in use. We have the front face. Can we go with gases and then as front, I think? I think that's the front face, is it not? Let's get a gas tank. Then can we just go boop? Yes, we can. And then set us to dump excess, so once it's full, it'll dump out. So anyway, we have blocks of coal coming into here, which is this exporter exports blocks of coal with the crafting upgrade. And the way we have that doing is we made a pattern grid and got the recipe for blocks of coal in this iron crafter. So that way, if we stick a crafting upgrade in an exporter for do blocks of coals, the system knows how to craft blocks of coals and it goes into there to make sulfur. Now we automated sulfur because we need to make this liquid right in here, liquid sulfur dioxide for the ultimate techium, because that's the liquid it takes. So we have this crushing factory that is now in use, that's not to do with that. We have this chemical oxidizer which receives the sulfur, and the sulfur which makes, I want to say sulfur dioxide, the gas, and that sulfur dioxide goes into this rotary condensator, and that turns the sulfur dioxide into the liquid sulfur dioxide, and then just gets put into this tank, and that's just going to back up and whatnot. And the second thing we need for ultimate techium is this yellow cake uranium, which is really easy to do. Take uranium ingots, put them in an enriching factory or an enriching chamber, and it makes the yellow cake uranium. So that's pretty easy. And we have that on, I think I did 1,000, yes. So once we get to 1,000 of that, it'll stop and we're back up on uranium. Then over here we made this infusion factory, which we use to make these alloys to get these quests done. To get these quests done here, and to get this atomic alloy quest done here. And next, what I automated was the production of energized steel, which we had to do in a bit of a funky way. It's the only real way I could think about doing it. And that was basically, oh, this should stop now, to be fair, because we have more than 100 of that. Has it stopped? And it's just, yeah, it's just using what's left in here. That's fine. So basically, we have the energizing core, we have hoppers feeding into it with exporters on top doing gold and steel. This will stop outputting into these hoppers once we have more than 100 steel, which we do, so there's no more steel coming in, no more gold coming in. It'll just go through these last bit of gold and see if that's an issue though. what's going to happen there is this will finish crafting using this 2 stacks of gold, but there's more steel than gold in there. I see. So then I'll just keep inputting steel into here. That's an issue for a later date. We'll have plenty of steel anyway. That's just because we didn't have enough gold to fill the hopper. Once we have enough stuff built up, the gold would fill the hopper with 5 stacks, that would fill with 5 stacks, and it would like clear itself out. But anyway, basically, we have a redstone timer back here that turns on for 0.25 seconds and off for 5. So that gives these hoppers just enough time to send 1 item. Now I've messed with this, obviously it's not going to work. To send 1 item into this. Tell what we can do, we can just manually pull this stuff out for now. Gives it just enough time for these hoppers to send 1 item of each into this energizing orb and then craft the steel, and then it'll get outputted and then it'll send another 1 of each item in. So that was the way I figured how to do that. I think that's everything. And what we're moving on to next, we have everything now automated. We have the zinc plates, we have the electric energized steel, we have the yellow cake uranium, we have the liquid sulfur. We just need the elite techium plates, which is another press, which I suppose we can do real quick. We need one of those. We need this. We're really low on quartz. That's the big issue currently. I don't know why we're really low on quartz, but we're also out of glass. That's something that I never automated. We just made a bunch of. Let's make one of those, and we're going to need a detector also, which is more quartz. Once we get once some of the stuff started to back up, we should get we should have everything start to back up again, so it'll be fine. Once everything backs up quite a lot, it'll just kind of everything will just keep itself going. So I know we're having issues currently, but it won't be for too much longer. I've disconnected this advanced techium for now, so we could actually grab some out because it was taking it all to make plates. Which, to be fair, it won't do now. Let's make another press, and then we can connect up this advanced techium once again. Just like so. Right, so let's go set this up. Gonna need a wrench as well. I did move over to having steak as well, because the little mob absorber we set up last episode produces raw beef and leather. So I've switched over. Done steak. Let's grab out elite techium. We're going to this press. And then we're just going to set this to a limit of like 10 or something really low. Might even just set it to a limit of 1, because we don't need the plates for anything else. I'm just going to set this to 1. We'll do 10. Because I know we do need plates for the very last ingot. So that'll wait till it gets 10 plates and then stop pulling the techium in. But by the time it gets to 10 plates, we'll have pulled most of the techium in anyway. So there's the elite plating. Now the last 2 things are going to be this atomic alloy and this refined obsidian, which are going to be a pain in the rear. Because the refined obsidian is not too bad. This is the one that's not too bad. It's just osmium and the refined obsidian dust, which is pretty easy. It's just enriched diamond and obsidian dust. Obsidian dust is just an enrichment chamber with obsidian. So that would be 2 enrichment chambers and an infusing factory and an osmium compressor thingy. And then the obsidian would be done. The refined obsidian would be done. But the atomic alloy is where we come into an issue. Because that takes the refined obsidian dust, so we'd have to split some off for that. And then that also takes the diamonds and the infused alloy, so it's like 3 of these metallurgic infusers. Which, to be fair, it's not as bad as I expected. So we need like 3 infusers and a load of other stuff. So we'll have to probably come over to this or the 5x5 to set that up. Or maybe we can do it along this back row. That's not a bad idea. Let's do it along this back row. And we're gonna have to. It's gonna take a bit of work setting it up. Well, we're not gonna do it this episode. But once we have those 2 things set up, I need time for. I need to give all the resources time for build up before we can really carry on, because I have to keep going back and doing bits with this and going back and doing bits with this. So we're gonna. There's not an elite techie in there. So what we're gonna do instead is probably just end this episode here, because I've already recorded, like I said, I've recorded this episode once. It's pretty late now. This is just like a little update thing, showing you what I've done and explaining what we're going to do next. Which I know is unfortunate. It's just a little 10-minute episode, but these things can happen. So yeah, has this got the 10 plates? Yeah, indeed it has. Let's pull out all of that. That's the issue with doing these things. It's going to fill up this inventory slot before we have enough when we use them. Hopefully, when we can upgrade these miners and stuff, nothing will be an issue. We'll have stuff coming in that fast. Well, to be fair, we're not too far from the end of the pack. After the ultimate Techium, we're jumping into the Nether, and then after the Nether, we jump into the end, and then it's just the final Techium. This is all pretty. And this final Techium is pretty easy to just all the other Techiums. And for the Nether Techium, I don't actually know what you need. Yeah, we need to set up the end crystal miners, an ancient debris miner, shroom lights, which I assume is just the crimson mushroom tree thing, manually, which is just cobalt and netherite scrap. So yeah, it's just some netherite, some of the miners in the nether, and then some miners in the end. Once we're past this, once we have ultimate Techium automated, I don't think we'll need to automate nether Techium and end Techium. So I think the actual automating of Techium stop. Technium. I've been saying it wrong. Oh my god, there's an N in there. Technium. Once we get past the automation of ultimate Technium, that'll be it for automating the Technium. Because that means we just need to get miners set up in the Nether, some miners set up in the end, and obviously kill the dragon and stuff. And then it's just a lot of this final Techium to craft this stuff. Yeah, that's super easy to make. That's super easy to make. Yeah, all this stuff just takes the last Techium. So yeah, it's pretty simple. And what do we get nether source from? Oh, we only need 1 and we can duplicate them. It does take 10 buckets though. So we will need to kill a wither, at least 1. So we can get 4 stars to do that. So yeah, we're not too far off. I think once we have the ultimate Technium done, these atomic lasers, we can make these teleportation cores, we can get into the wireless power. That'll do that quest line. The minor tier 5s are just the nether stuff. I don't know if these have to be in the end. Because I know you can buy the end crystal ore. I think you can just buy the end crystal ore and just do a miner like that. So yeah, we aren't going to need too much of this kind of end game kind of stuff, because we don't need to craft too much. Now, doing natural ender dragon's pretty easy. Tier 5 miners work on end ores, it's just those 4. Yeah, so probably only going to be maybe 5 more episodes after this one. Maybe that's sort of stretch if I do a bit of Bit of work in between. We do have like over 1,000 tech. We got 1.2 thousand tech books. What are we gonna buy with all that? I don't know. Obviously, we need these 12 eyes, but they're easy money now. But it's actually 16 eyes. There is 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, only 12. So yeah, I think that's gonna do us for this little short episode. Thank you ever so much for this. I'll catch up and I'll see you all in the next one. Adios.